Do you have a type? Funny segue.
I don't think I have a type.
I feel like everyone's gonna say this, but like I like people who like don't take themselves too seriously.
I would say that I'm genre agnostic.
Equal opportunity dater.
Because I feel like everyone I've ever dated looks really different.
But all of my friends would wholeheartedly disagree.
According to them, brunettes, or anybody with dark hair.
It's tall, dark, and handsome, with a strong jawline.
Natalie Portman or Carrie Fisher. Gosh, I'm a nerd, that's all Star Wars.
Clark Kent adjacent.
Sometimes like the difference in skin tone and eye color sometimes is very interesting to me.
I think my first crush was probably in high school. She was my year, but was a year ahead in math. I found that extremely hot.
There's a peeping Tom over there. Hello. Maybe this is how I find love.
Break it down, it's just, who do you want to spend time with? Who do you want to build things with?
Quarantine confessional.
Hey, my name is Christian Ting. I was born and raised in the East Bay, California, and Northern California.
My name is Celestine.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Shaka. Merci de me recevoir.
I'm Garrett, and this is my quarantine confessions. Let's do this.
Forgive my appearance. I'm doing this whole no shave quarantine challenge, and I'm sure I will look like Tom Hanks in Castaway when this is done.
And also forgive me a reason to wear pants for the first time in 6 days. And also break in these shoes I didn't get to, so check them out.
I was born in Hong Kong and raised in Shanghai.
And I grew up pretty much my entire life after that in Texas.
Primarily in Houston, Texas. So I consider myself a proud Houstonian.
Spiritually identify with Houston pride.
Go H-Town.
I currently live in Los Angeles.
I'm in my apartment in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Depending on what crowds I run with, sometimes I'm Silver Lake, I'm occasionally K-Town, Little Armenia. I'm flexible. It is the definition of like a slow burn.
As we get hit up by the whole world during quarantine.
Meaning that, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have been seeing each other or casually dating or even, you know, physically meeting people.
I've been having my fun, but I'm doing this quarantine alone.
Like we're only talking to people that we, you know, were close with before quarantine started. That it is very cool and meaningful and novel to get to know someone during this time.
I think that the person that I'm talking to is very careful and very thoughtful about, you know, their roommate.
Did you kind of serendipitously get a quarantine boyfriend like right before this all started?
And, you know, being sort of sanitary and being, you know, not completely selfish.
We will go on walks at the same time and call each other. We like watch movies. Pretty much every night. Because I grew up on the internet, I am more open to the idea of being vulnerable with people that I don't know or haven't known for as long.
How would you describe dating as a millennial?
Dating as a millennial is complicated because we are in the throes of hookup culture.
We can afford to be more picky.
That's how I describe it.
You know, there's plenty of hurt, there's plenty of pleasure. It's life.
I was reading this tweet recently about this guy was saying like dating nowadays is so impossible because nobody's really single. Everyone is in like 6 imaginationships and 2 situationships and also getting over their toxic ex. Their ex was toxic but made them really laugh.
What was your worst dating experience?
I mean, I wouldn't even know how to rank them. It'd be like judging Olympics for psychopaths.
In the span of like, I think this date was like total an hour, he like managed to tell me One, that he thought Beyonce was overrated. Two, he thought that the Spanish language sounded ugly. And three, that he thought astrology was stupid.
I would have to say in college, I dated someone who broke up with someone for me.
Whenever a person feels like you have to kind of like anchor and like carry the entire date from, you know, start to finish, it's exhausting. Even as an extrovert, it's always tough to kind of be in a position where you have to, you know, carry the conversation, carry the itinerary without being too overbearing.
Certainly hasn't been like the easiest thing in the world. I am, you know, a gay man, so that does you know, burden me.
You know, in the world of Asian American dating, you know, Asian women tend to have a higher probability and a higher ability to connect with others, while Asian men are constantly being stigmatized, something that we can only dismantle on the individual level. So.
I live in New York, and like people are very like career driven, like here to like hustle.
You are hustling and grinding more for, you know, career on Wall Street or in the entertainment industry or any of those things that seem to provide you a better existence in that city.
Value of the South is like to, you know, get married and pursue like traditional like family and like homemaking. That I'm more commitment oriented, I think, because of my like the way I was like socialized.
Having grown up in the South, it is more normal to get married to your high school sweetheart and have kids and all those things. Most of my high school friends have kids or multiple kids.
My best dating experience.
It was like a movie. We like met in the plaza at school. He was like a friend of friends and like whatever.
Met in New York. It was one of those things where it was just like, oh, hey, you're new to the city. You know, let me show you around if you need anything. Just being friendly.
The one that I think capstones for me is just
My second love.
going to California Pizza Kitchen and just talking over those delicious avocado chicken wraps that you have to get. I, even as like an Asian person, know it's an appropriation of our culture, but like those things are so bomb, and she was bomb.
Falling in love a second time it's more cautious, it's more careful.
But we dated for 6 months. Like we dated like pretty much the entire time I was in Mexico City, and then for a few months after, like after I moved back to Austin.
Went out a couple of times, ended up striking up a relationship, traveled, which is something I love to do. So that was really great.
Just a really special relationship and a really special person, and it ended very like amicably just because we were going kind of two different directions in life.
We realized that our ambitions were taking us in two separate directions. She got a job that took her overseas. I just moved to LA. I mean, we had just moved to LA. I was like, no, I need to stay here for my career, but you should go, because I would hate if anyone told me I couldn't go for something I spent my whole life pursuing.
I can do this. Like I'm a stable person. Like I can like be in and end a relationship in a way that's like healthy. Like that's a crazy concept.
She was a ballerina. And so she went on tour, did her thing, still doing her things over there. She's now started a school in Africa for kids that do ballet.
So that was very like affirming. To do something that was emotionally healthy, which is not always the case.
We did end up getting married. We are not married anymore, but that's because of our career paths. And I think that's what's really great about our love. Also, I am quarantining with my ex-wife. She came with her family over Christmas while I was in Europe. And then the quarantine happened, so she ended up having to stay, which I don't mind. You know, we get along well, we're best friends, very supportive of each other's careers, so it is great.
One of my favorite quotes that like incorporates the word love is a like quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that is, power at its best is love in implementing the demands of justice.
Love is the soul's recognition of its counterpart in another.
Love to me is recognizing your strength in other people.
Love is patience, vulnerability, honesty, and loyalty to an extent.
She hold me down like gravity.
We on the front page of them blogs. Would you be mad at me if the whole world knew this we was on? Would be tragedy.
In spite of everything, I really have such an unrelenting optimism about this that somewhere out there, he's there.
People are human beings too. I think sometimes we forget that a lot of us are going through something that isn't apparent on the surface, and I think we have to dismantle this idea that people can be complex subjects that require a lot of examination and thoughtfulness instead of just being these rigid concepts. Also, it'd be like that sometimes.
I think I just want to live life with a lot of joy and to be able to look back on at any point in my life and see that I spread happiness.
Even in a situation where we feel kind of, you know, set apart or isolated or just kind of confined or imprisoned, there's still plenty of time to be creative and just to, you know, find the humor in it. I know it's hard, but it's absolutely there. It can be very rewarding.
I am in quarantine, before quarantine, and also now investing a lot of time and energy into songwriting. I very much so believe that it could be a career for me.
I think I've been trying to kind of motivate people in a lot of different rings when it comes to, you know, social time, when it comes to philosophy, when it comes to cardio, when it comes to yoga, just gamifying, I think, our idea of competition when it comes to like rewarding yourself for doing certain things the right way. That to me, I think, is our way of kind of reconciling our situation that we're all sharing more or less equally.
Right now, I want to be able to wake up in the morning and act and produce. I want to work in the entertainment industry full-time, if not 90% of my life.
Life is tragically, you know, short for a lot of people, but if you can find the comedy even in the fucked up stuff, I think that's a vibe that I'm definitely looking for.
And that's it. Bye.
And I think you made for the life I lead. I'm not fake patient, I don't fake sick. That kind of coughing don't heal. Rest in peace, got this lust for life.